Welcome to our iMatrix Portal website editor training. Our goal in this webinar is to teach you how to make changes to your new Portal website. In this video, we will be going over the basics of how to use the Portal editor. Access to the editor is located in the Portal dashboard on the left-hand side column where all the applications are listed. You will need to click on Website Editor and then Edit Website. When you first open up the editor, you will see a copy of your website, except it is now fully editable. Portal is a what you see is what you get editor, or WYSIWYG, which means that your editor will look like the final copy. You can tell which areas can be edited if dashed blue lines appear when you hover your mouse over them. These are called modules. Modules are items such as a slideshow, exclusive offer forms, office hours, locations, and more. We will go over each of them more in depth later. To get back to the dashboard, just click on the Back to Portal link at the top of the screen. To change the theme color, click on Theme Color, which will allow you to toggle between the default color schemes for your theme. You can click on Clear Cache to easily clear your cache if your browser is saving an older version of the website. You can also preview the website on different screen sizes by clicking on this desktop icon here. It's in desktop by default, but you can actually preview it in tablet, as well as mobile, right from the editor. You can also click on this preview button to just preview the website simply without any of the distracting dashed blue lines. And then you can click Publish on the upper right hand of the screen when you are ready for the changes to appear on the live website. Alright, in this next session we will be going over this left-hand side column, which displays 4 tabs. You always start out in this main editor tab, which will always bring you to this portal editor where you'll be making most of the changes to the website. Making changes is pretty simple. I'll show you what I mean by going to this services page and editing the content there. Most of the internal pages that are not the home page are laid out like this, with the navigation at the top, a little header, your page content, and then some modules down at the bottom. In order to edit the page content, simply click on your chosen area and click the edit button that appears. A toolbar will appear across the top of the page where you can format text and add links and images. In order to make changes, simply type or modify as you would in a normal Word document. And remember to hit Save in the top right of the toolbar when you are finished, and then Publish to push the changes to the live website. Now let's go over the Pages tab. The My Pages tab displays a list of all of the pages on your website, even if they are not shown on the navigation. You can view the page title, the permalink, as well as the type of layout for that page. You can add new pages, delete pages, or duplicate existing ones. When you click on this little pencil, Edit Page Design, it will take you to an editable version of that page where you can modify that content. You can also click on the gear to be taken to the page's settings or the page info. You can also click on Page SEO to add metadata to any of your pages. Then you can simply click on the pencil icon next to the page you would like to manage SEO for. You will have the ability to modify the meta title or add a meta description or keywords. The meta title is the page name to be listed on search engines. Description will appear below the page name on search engines. It should just be a short summary of the page. And the meta keywords are words that could be used to search for and find the page. This should typically be relevant to the subject matter of that page. There's a lot of other fields, but I wouldn't mess with this unless you know what you're doing. We can cover those fields in a different video. Now let's talk about the Media Manager. Anytime an image or video needs to be added to the website, it must first be uploaded to the Media Manager. You can choose between 3 different view modes for your files by clicking on these square icons at the top middle of the page. You can also type into the search in order to find previously uploaded files. Documents, such as images and forms, can be uploaded by clicking on this blue upload button in the top left corner of the page. I'm going to first go into this folder right here and then upload a photo by clicking on it, and that will add it into my folder. If I click on the file I just uploaded, I will see a preview of it, as well as the title, the size, the date last modified, and the public URL. If you choose to link to the document, such as using a form, you can click on the public URL to grab the address. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. You can also stay organized by creating folders. Name your folder, click Apply. You can move images. Select the destination folder and that will move your image. And you can also delete folders or files that you don't need anymore. Now let's go over the settings page. This is where you can change basic information that will be displayed on the website. Throughout your iMatrix website, you've probably noticed keywords within curly braces. I'll show you what I mean. So they typically appear throughout the website, and they'll have practice name, city, phone, first name, last name, and others in all caps and surrounded by these curly brackets here. These are known as tokens, and they pull from the information in the Settings tab, depending on their corresponding field. For instance, phone number would correspond with phone, practice name would correspond with practice name, email address with email, and so on. This is to make things easier on yourself. Whatever name or input is entered in the settings will ultimately be what's shown on the live website. For instance, this is the live website, and as you can see, it is showing iMatrix webinar and not practice name in curly braces. If you have to change any of these fields, like update your phone number or your last name, all you have to do is update it just once in the Settings tab, and then it will update automatically throughout the rest of the website. Now you don't have to manually change the phone number on each page. Whenever you are in the editor and you want to insert or use a token, simply edit, click on Content Vars, and then choose the token you would like to use. Below the token information, you can choose to enable or disable breadcrumbs, as well as upload a favicon. This is the icon that appears in the browser tab for your website. If you hit replace, you'll be taken to the Media Manager where you can choose a new icon. And then hit save when you're done. In this section, I will be going over the many different modules or components. I'll be using those words interchangeably. Anything with a dashed blue line around it is a module. You can see the name of the module in the top left corner of its box, usually the first word. So for instance, this logo header would be a logo module. This would be a slider. This would be social media. In order to open a module, simply click on it and click on that edit button that shows up. A little window will slide out from the left where you can then make changes. Near the top, you'll see some elements that are commonly present on all of our modules. They do differ slightly depending on what kind of module it is, but usually you'll see content, settings, and then occasionally layout. Within the content tab, you can make changes to the actual content of the component. For instance, there's usually a title and caption that you can modify. Below this is usually a manage section where you can manage the actual content or pieces. The pieces will actually differ depending on what module you're in, but they'll usually have the same format where you can click and drag to rearrange the pieces. And then there are three little icons. The pen and paper icon allows you to actually edit whatever content that is, be it text or image. So you can rewrite that there. The garbage can allows you to delete that piece of content. And then this little green slider allows you to toggle it on and off. So if I toggle these two off, they will be hidden. Within the Settings tab, you can customize usually the visibility settings for that component. So you could actually turn off the title and caption if you didn't want them to display, as well as other things. And again, it depends on the module that you're in. There's little image resize, and then module visibility. This is for the entirety of that module. You can actually choose to whether it displays on desktop, tablet, or phone. All three, just one of them. You can manage that here. If you turn all of them off, then that module will actually be hidden from view. Lastly, we have the Layout tab. And not all modules have this, but if they do, you'll be able to choose between specific layouts. This will usually vary depending on the module and sometimes the theme. Usually you'll be able to select between a slider or a grid. This one has multiple options for each. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see more advanced settings where you can further kind of customize the slider or the grid, depending on which one you choose. Now that you understand more about modules, let's go over individual modules and their unique settings. The main module that is most different, I would say, and important, is the navigation module. This is important because it is the main way that people will probably be moving around your website and in between pages. Whenever you click on a tab in the navigation, you will see two options: Go to Link and Edit Navigation Header. Clicking on Go to Link will take you to that page. So if I were to click on Online Forms and go to Link, I would be taken to the Online Forms page where I could edit that content. Since I don't want to edit that content right now, I'll click on it and hit the second option, and this will pop out the navigation module. So you'll see a list of all of the pages in your navigation. You can actually really easily rearrange them by clicking one and dragging it around. You can also delete pages by hovering over the page, clicking on these three dots right here, and a little menu will come down, click on delete, and that gets rid of that. Most of the time, when you delete pages, you will be given two choices: menu link only or menu link and page. Choosing menu link only will only remove it from this navigation module. Choosing menu link and page will remove it not just from the navigation, but also from the website entirely. I'm just going to cancel out of this. To create a new page, just hit add a page right here. It will give you the option of adding a new page versus adding a page link. If you add a page link, you can actually select between an existing pool of pages and just link to that and add it to the navigation. Or you can select an external link and link out to an external website. If you add a new page, then that creates a new page entirely on the website. For the display name, you will put in what you want it to be displayed as on the navigation. The page title will be the heading on the page itself, and then it'll automatically fill out the permalink, so you don't have to worry about that. The page layout refers to how content on the page will appear. For the most part, you'll be using full width. Don't worry about the other layouts. For the page type, that refers to what kind of content will go on this page. You'll probably be using text for the most part, but if you wanted that new page to be a blog, you could use that. A gallery page, testimonials, staff, form. And then lastly, page level refers to whether it is a primary link or a secondary link. Primary, if you add it as primary, it will be added to the bottom. And then if you add it as a secondary link, you can actually choose one of the top level links to put it under as a sort of a subcategory. And so that will end up as a sub page, much like how our doctors, meet the staff, testimonials, and clinic tour are kind of nested underneath about us. So that is how to add a new page. If you go into the settings, you can actually turn on this more button if your navigation is too long. So what that means is if you add a lot of pages, too many to fit into the navigation, and I'm just going to drag request appointment out because I know that's a little long, and look at the menu now. Alright, so previously you had blog and video tutorials showing on the main navigation, but since I moved request an appointment outside of the contact us, it pushed them over and put them in this more tab, where then you can hover over it and see the rest. If you don't like that, you can turn this off, but then it will actually spill over and be 2 lines, which can look a little messy for some people. Now let's go back to the home page. The next thing I'll talk about is how to edit the slideshow. This theme is unique in that it actually has a full screen background module in addition to a slideshow, but I'll just do the slider for now. So in this slider module, you can see under content, I have 3 pieces of content, 2 of which are turned off. I'll go ahead and slide them back on. And then I'll have 3 slides on my slideshow. If I select the pen and paper icon, I can then modify the content on that slide. This includes the title. I can change that as well as the caption. I can choose to add an image to that slide, select it from the media manager. I can also select where the button will go. This call to action text is this button, and I can change that and make it go to a different page if I so wish. For now, let's leave it as text. I'm actually going to hit cancel because I don't want to make any changes. In the settings tab, you'll see again element visibility as well as the module visibility and the image resize. More importantly is this slider settings, where you can see a lot of different options to customize the slider, including what speed it rotates at, and also whether you want to add navigation like previous or next buttons so that people can click to the next slide on their own, as well as some other check marks that you can play around with. For layout, when we come to slideshow, the only thing it allows you to do is align the text to the left or to the right or to the center. So we'll keep it like that. Now let's look at how to edit your logo. Go ahead and click on the logo and edit in order to get the module open. In order to replace the logo, just hit replace and then you'll be able to select a new logo. Let's see, what was it before? It was a cat. Okay. Let's change it to this logo. And I could change the text that is in the logo or the tagline. I'm actually going to change it to a different size because 900 is obviously too big. Maybe let's do 85. And in the layout, it's similar to the slider in which you can choose whether the image is on the top, on the left, on the right. In this case, I'm going to move it to the left. Oh, it's a little bit off center, but that is how you change the logo. Give me 1 second. Let's switch it back. Perfect. Next, we'll take a look at the social media. Let's open up that module, and you'll see that we can click and drag and move around the existing pieces of content on here. You can edit if you want to update the link. And you can also add a new social media icon. We have a preset list. So I'll go ahead and add an Instagram. I'll choose open link in a new tab. Oops. And then I'll drag it towards the end. In the settings, I can toggle it off and toggle off the element of visibility as well, but I don't need to do that. And there it is. That's us. Alright, now I'll show you how to edit the forms. For instance, here is a form. We typically call this an exclusive offer form. All you need to do is click on the form, and it'll bring you to the form module. You see that one form is turned on, and that is your active form. If you want to edit that form, you can actually click on the pen and paper, and then you can add or customize the form fields or change its name. If you want to create a new custom form, go ahead and click on Add New Form, Custom Form. You can name it something and then what I'll do is I'll add a field, and here you can see the pre-populated default settings. And I'll also add a custom field to show you what that looks like. When you fill out the field label, that is what the field or the question, and the help text is just supplementary text to kind of help them fill out that form better. You can mark it as required or not required, and then you can select the type. So there's a couple different ones to choose from. I'm going to stick with text line. and we'll save. Now, once I've created the form, it shows up in my list. Oh, there it is. However, I still have to turn that form on. So I'm going to toggle off the exclusive offer and toggle on my new form. And then, for good measure, I'm going to change out the title and the caption. I think I'll just fill out the title, hit done. And there's my new form. Alright, and below this we have the page content for the home page. If you click edit on this, it'll pop up with the toolbar, and then you can type into it normally. A question that we get a lot is, how do I add images to the page content? I'll go ahead and show you that now. To add images, you just need to click on the Upload Media. This will open up the Media Manager, and then from here you can go into whatever folder you have. You can upload a new image. For now, I'll just pick out this one. Remember to type in the alt text. The alt text is required for accessibility reasons. If an image is broken, then the alt text will be displayed there instead so that you can have an idea of what that image was. It's also for visually disabled people. If they're using a screen reader to access your website, instead of seeing the image, they will be able to know what it is by the alt text. You can also select a link source type if you want it to link out to something. In this case, I don't want to. And then you can select it to position left, center, or right of the page. I'm going to select left. And that pops the image in. It is clearly too big, so what I'm going to do is, if I click edit, a little white box will appear in the right corner, and I can actually click that and drag it to make it a little smaller. There we go, and then I'll hit save, and that put my image there where I wanted it. Another question we get a lot about page content is how do I add a link? Or how do I add a link to my forms, which I uploaded to the Media Manager? So I'll also show you that now. Come to this online forms page. So let's say this form is your old form, or it's our form that you want to get rid of. So what you could do here is unlink it, and then we're going to actually head over to the Media Manager and grab that public URL for the form. So it's in this form folder. I'm actually just going to copy that link address here. And when I come back to the editor, I'm going to highlight this text that I want to link. I'm going to come up to the toolbar and click on Link, Insert Link. There you can see the text that I highlighted. It selected external link automatically. That's good, that's what I want. And then I will paste in. So that is the URL for the form that I want. I'm going to click Open Link in New Tab and hit Save. And once I do that, it'll link out to the new form. And remember, there is another option where instead of external link, you could link it to My Pages and select one of the other pages on the website. So that's how to use links. Alright, and if I scroll down, I'm going to see the Featured Blocks module. So each theme has this module on the home page, although it might be styled differently or located in a different place. They're a great way to highlight certain parts of the website that your users might be most interested in finding. In the featured blocks module, you'll see all of my blocks are listed down here. I can turn them on and off, and I can actually add new content as well. Oops. Alright, so this is telling me that I need to turn off some before I can add more. Alright, if I want to add a piece of content, and I can actually choose, these are all set to icons right now, but I can add an image as a graphic if I wanted to, or no image or icon whatsoever. I'll just go ahead and pick image or icon. And as you can see, there's a lot of different icons to choose from. I'll type in a sample. You can also modify these to reflect various services that you want to highlight or put on the home page where it's easily accessible. And then you can also add a button onto the box and link it to a certain page on the website. And I'm going to drag it to the middle one. I'll actually turn this on. And there it is. So the settings for the featured blocks module, you can increase the number of enabled blocks so that you don't run into that message that I did. You can edit its visibility here, as well as choose what parts of it you can click on. So that sums up the featured blocks section. Alright, below featured blocks, we have a staff section. This is pretty self-explanatory, but the staff module allows you to add a photo and bio of your staff members. So as you can see here, you can toggle them on and off, you can drag them into the order that you like, and you can actually click on this pen and paper icon to be taken to the settings, where you can alter the name, add the bio, replace the image. If you click on this, it'll bring you up to the Media Manager. Another cool feature is you can actually create a detail page for the staff, which will add this read more link, and then you can add more information. This theme allows you to add sections, page sections, to their page. So if I go out and click on read more, I'll be taken to a more in-depth bio page. So below the staff section is a testimonials module. In order to edit testimonials, it's pretty much the same as any other module. You can go in, you can turn on, you can edit existing testimonials, and you can add new ones here. This theme allows you to add a photo for your testimonials. So that's pretty cool, but we're not going to do that today. The settings for the testimonials look pretty standard, so we won't need to go over them. However, in the layout section, you'll see that you can change the layout between slider and grid and add these cool little photos if you have taken photos of the clients who have given you reviews. And here are some of the advanced settings. So let's leave it as a slider for now. This is the map module. If you have multiple locations or a satellite office that you want to add, you can actually edit this here. So as you can see, here's the main address. And you can actually add a secondary location if you like. And once you do that, then two map markers will appear so that you can display both of your locations. If you need to edit your address, you can do so here. Type in all of the relevant information and click Save. In the settings, you'll be able to customize the style of the map just a little bit, the color and the shape of the map marker, as well as the size and the zoom level. So you can actually make it zoom more or less depending on your preference. And here we have the Hours module. So if you need to edit your hours, you can easily do so clicking on this pen here. You can rename the hours, and as well as under Manage Content, actually change the hours all by yourself. As you can see, you can add multiple time slots, up to 3, in case maybe you close for lunch or something. And you can also add custom text, so you can see how this is checked right here, so that you can put by appointment only or some other note for that date. And as you can see here, you can have multiple hours for if you have multiple offices, or even if you have a single office, you can also put up special hours or holiday hours. And you can add that by clicking on this Add Office Hours right here and typing in. The only thing special in the settings is the time format. This is where you can change it to 24 hours and also auto group the same time slots if you want to preserve some space. And that is the Hours module. One more module I'd like to show you is the Gallery module. We'll have to go to this page in order to see the Gallery module. So as you can see, this is the Gallery module. I would click on it like in any other module. I could enter in a title and a caption, and in order to manage the pieces, I would click on Manage Media. So this brings you to the gallery, this gallery pop-up. As you can see, I've already got 4 images in here, and I can delete them by clicking on this. If I select multiple ones, I can delete multiple at the same time. Let's not though. And in order to add new things to the gallery, I would just click Add Media. You can select from the gallery or embedded video. So let's add this koala. You can add multiple things from the Media Manager if you hold down Shift. So I've got these 3. Actually, let's do just the penguin image again, because I like penguins. Add the alt text and hit Save and Add, and there you go. That's your new image. There's no limit to the images you can put in the gallery, but keep in mind that it will decrease your loading speeds if you have too many. Alright, in the settings, you'll notice down here that you can choose what happens exactly whenever you click on an image. It can open up in a light box or go to a different page or link. And the layout, as well as the visibility settings. So here's the actual cool part about the gallery. You can change the layout between the grid and a slideshow view. So right now it's by default in a grid. You can select how many columns and add spacing in between, as well as if you want them to all to be squares, you can do that. So if I switch it to a slider, then the settings would be slightly different. I can select how many, I can actually make it into a one picture slideshow, which is what I'll do right now. And as you can see now, instead of 4 smaller pictures, it's going to slide through one big picture at a time. So that is our gallery module. So now that I've covered most of the modules, this concludes our webinar on how to use the portal editor. If you have any questions, feel free to submit a help ticket on our help site, help.imatrix.com. Thank you for watching.